I think this is the most important forum that we've had. We started 10 years ago, we were on the cusp of this trend, but what we've seen is that every 5 years, the number of restrictive initiatives is now doubling. Through this forum, I think we can, number one, help develop norms that will show the legal direction that we want to go. I think we can build the capacity and assist partners on the ground to change this environment, and I think we can counter this trend.
I think it's a very urgent forum. One of the main themes of this seminar this year is to reach out to others, the non-converted. I don't think that every community wake up every morning thinking about civic space as shrinking. We need to talk to other movements and involve them in why this is an important issue, and get some friends to rally around this important issue. And I think this seminar will deal a lot with that.
One of the most important things that forums like this do is allow activists, academics and other people to share their experiences, to learn from each other. What we know for a fact is that bad practices are shared widely by governments. So what we need to do is figure out how we can share practices to counter these bad practices, but also ways in which we can have good practices. So I think this kind of forum is fantastically important. I think the more we have of these, the better.
When it comes to democracy, but it is not a body.
It is very, very important to stop this viral disease of copy-paste laws between not-so-open countries on how they can shrink space for civil society. It's really contagious, and we need to stop it now.
We had world leaders like Ban Ki-moon and President Obama introducing this seminar, so yes, they are aware.
It is not often you hear a president of any country saying civil society is important.
Throughout history, progress has been propelled by citizens coming together to insist that a better life is possible. Yet, in too many countries today, fundamental freedoms, like freedom of association and freedom of speech, are under attack. So your work in this forum is more important than ever.
We live in times of unprecedented wealth and possibilities, but also of deep inequalities, transnational threats, conflict, turmoil, and intolerance. The ICNL believes rightly in the power of civil society and global citizenship to overcome these problems and to help shape our common future.
I come from the government sector, and it's very important for us to understand what the CSOs do and what impediments that they face in their work, and the ways that we can help the CSOs to do their work and the objectives that they're created to achieve.
We have a very, very weak law, at least in Ecuador, to protect civil society. So when we discuss about how important the international legal framework is that we can strengthen those international standards to take them to the national levels.
This morning we participated in the freedom of media and how to defend the freedom of expression. I think that especially in the Arab world we need to work a lot on the constitutional guarantees and how to link between the constitution and the practice.
Well, we're very concerned about the shrinking space of civil society. We see is not only in our country, but in several countries in our region and in the world generally. And one of the main issues that we see is how do we make an appropriation of these concepts by the general public, by other stakeholders such as the media, the corporations, the foundations, local non-profits, and even local movements, even non-constituted movements.
We're all looking at this issue from very different perspectives. It's a very multidisciplinary space. So we have half lawyers, half non-lawyers, but then even within those two halves we have so many different perspectives, experiences, not just culturally, and from a nation-state perspective, but also from background.
Some themes are so relevant in my context. For example, I recently attended one program about the open government initiatives, right? That's what we can try out in my country, because all of the criteria, all of the issues that this open government initiatives is promoting is already available in my country, but still the government has less appetite.
We're all very good at talking about human rights when they're abroad, but applying human rights at home is a much harder task, and I think it gives us a renewed call to do this when we go back home and when the Global Forum ends, to take that message back with us and to try and deliver on that challenge.
For me, being LGBT, it's important to be in such a surrounding which is about civil society, and I know that we are on the agenda and I can learn from the other groups how can we do something better. So I think this mutual learning is the most important thing.
The way the forum works, not so much with keynote speakers and plenaries, also with interactive sessions. What do you think about that?
That's actually a lot more democratic than the old-fashioned way of doing conferences. I always enjoy the Global Forum with the ICNL for that very reason. They're organizing it with slightly more respect for democratic principles.